Okay, good afternoon, Africa. How are we doing? My name's Ashton. I'm one of the Google trainers here. And yes, we are basically back again with some great examples of how you can elevate your business or maybe use digital in order to, grow and get yourself going, which is cool. I want to welcome you guys back again through our series of webinars that we're doing here. So, welcome for a start. Yep, and again, obviously, because we're here in lockdown, we have to, see how we could be quite productive with all the technology and resources that we have around us. So, today's sessions are all about business basics. So, if you are a business or maybe looking to start trading, we're going to start looking at some examples of how you can use some of the platforms I'm going to recommend to you and ways that you can market your business. So, if you have a business already and you're looking to market your business, we're going to take a look at that. We've got three different sessions for you today. I want to firstly also just say hello to our moderators in the chat. So we've got God Knows, who's in Nigeria, who will be a moderator. You can see him in the chat. He basically has a little spanner by his name. So please say hello, God Knows, make yourself known in the chat. And then also we've got Elizabeth as well, or Lizzie, who is from Kenya, and she is also in the chat as well. So guys, we want this to be as interactive as possible. Whenever we do these sessions on a Thursday, everyone is very, very interactive. So again, if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to state, statements or whatever, go ahead, place that into the chat. If there are major questions, then we will have some pauses where I'll be able to kind of answer the question to everyone who's on the webinar right now. So I want to welcome you all again to our Grow with Google program. My name's Ashton. And again, we've got our moderators. Now, if you do want to leave some messages or start chatting in the moderation, what I would say is basically just go ahead and open up a YouTube channel and then you can start chatting in the chat on the side here. So again, our moderators, they're there and they're keeping an eye on all of your questions. So please feel free to be very, very interactive. So again, what we're looking at today is just business basics. So again, if you guys maybe are looking to form a business online, or maybe you have a business already and you're looking to promote yourself the best way online, these three sessions that we have in the next 3 hours is all going to help you guys out within this webinar. So again, thank you guys and welcome you all to come into the business basics and make yourself known in the chat, as we've got the guys here. Now, another thing as well is that these sessions will be made available for you to watch again. So if you maybe miss something or anything, don't worry, these are going to be online for some time. So again, you can always just rewind back and pick up. But I want to welcome you guys. I hope everyone's doing all well. And I know obviously it's a bit of a difficult time being in COVID-19, but we're doing what we can. And again, these webinar sessions are great resources to help you and your businesses grow. So welcome, and let's get started actually with what we have for our first session. We want to get started with e-commerce. Maybe you want to have your own online website and start trading, start doing your business online. The first section is really going to take a look at that. And then get your business visible even online. This is going to be a great session for anyone who's interested in Google My Business. We're going to go into it a little bit of detail on how you can set yourself up and some of the great things that will help you get more visible online when you're using this type of service, which is completely free. And then the last section is looking at digital marketing, ways that you can promote your business and yourself online using social media channels, again, search marketing, all these different things. So again, please stay tuned for that. So these are the three different presentations that we've got for you in the next 3 hours, but we're going to get started with build your online presence first. And again, if there are any questions, feel free to put that into the chat. Our moderators are there, and we will be pausing within sections in the presentation in order for us to answer your questions. So please don't sit there, be very interactive with us, get involved in the chat, as we've got our moderators in there too. So let's get started with the first presentation, which is building your online presence. So really, when we think about this, anyone who maybe wants to start selling, or anyone who maybe has an idea of wanting to be online and wanting to start selling and do e-commerce online, this is really based around that and how we can use certain platforms or maybe have our own website in order to start selling online and start connecting with different customers as well. So this is our first presentation that we're going to do. So these are the modules that we have laid out for this first presentation. So firstly, an intro into the internet, just really looking at the landscape of it, and then how you can grow your business online as well. So various different platforms you can use and where you can have your online presence. So this is where we're going to look at the different platforms, different ways that you can promote and have your business online. And then lastly, creating a website. So we're going to just take a look at some different examples and ways that you can create your website on here. So if you don't have a website, please stay tuned, because this is definitely going to help you guys out as I give you some tips and tricks on how you can promote and start your business online. Okay, so let's get started really with the internet. Really, the internet has come a long way, and it's really just a combination of loads of different computers based around the world, and we're connecting to them. And the internet has allowed us to do many different things. Again, when this first started in the early 70s, this was really just used for military use, and then in the 90s it then started to grow, and as we know now, we're using the internet more and more. We have access to it at our fingertips on our phones, we have our desktop computers, we're communicating, we're doing many different things. And really, the internet is just a connection of different computers together based around the world, and enables us to communicate and connect that way. Now, one of the things that helps us, especially when it comes to being online, is the search engines. And we probably use this regularly every day whenever we want to kind of look for, let's say, a particular product, or maybe we have a question, or we're trying to find a location. These search engines really help us navigate the web. And so again, when we're using Google, like most of us do, we're calling up these websites, and again, we're making sure that we can kind of, make a conscious decision whether to buy a product or not, or whether to go and sign up to a particular service. But again, these search engines have really been great in helping us navigate so much information that we have on the web. And what I would say is, again, is that we use this all the time. And again, if you're trying to start your business online, this is going to be the kind of first point of call that your customers is going to use to try and find you. And as we go on through these sessions, again, we're going to talk about the different ways that you can promote your business, or if you're looking to do this, how you can use the search engines in order to help you. But again, this is a tool that we use all the time in order to navigate the web and where we need to go. So let's just take a look at how the internet is used, So, mainly the biggest thing is browsing the web. And again, I do this pretty much all the time. I'm sure we all do it, where we go onto websites, we might read the news, we might, buy products, read reviews, watch videos, all of these things, that we do on a regular basis using the internet. And again, as mentioned, it's not only on the desktop, it is also on our mobile phones as well. So it's really easy for us to access and start to search and gain information. But it's also made it really great to communicate, and instant to communicate with people. So many of us, I'm sure in the chat, let's put a little question out there. How many of us are communicating even every day using the internet? And it pretty much be loads of you, or every single one of us is pretty much using the internet in some kind of form, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's emails. We're using this as a great efficient way to communicate with each other. So again, the internet is great at making the world very small than really what it is. So other things as well, a great way to find opportunities. There are great websites like LinkedIn, social media platforms which enable us to elevate and promote ourselves, also to promote our businesses. And I'm sure many of you have used LinkedIn or used other services in order to find jobs or new opportunities for your business. So again, this is definitely something that I could recommend to all of you guys with that. So this is one of the cool things with the internet. So other things just to mention as well, entertainment. We're here on YouTube right now, and we do use YouTube for entertainment. We've got Netflix, we've got all of these other things that are around in order to entertain us. And I never thought in this day and age that we'll basically be just watching TV and films literally on our phones, purely because we've got this internet connection. So it's definitely made things really kind of great when it comes to entertainment, also experiences. But I think the biggest thing here is online services, that have really helped us be more efficient and convenient. So when we do think about, having to kind of order things or buy stuff online, before we would obviously have to go to the shop physically. But now what we can do, we can go onto a website, we can read reviews, we can make a conscious decision whether we want to actually buy a product or not. And this is where the online services really are helping. And especially in this time of COVID-19, online is being used even more so right now. The fact that we cannot go out, we have to literally use the internet as a tool for shopping or maybe for communication or entertainment wise. But again, these are really being used right now in this day and age, and especially with COVID-19. So this is being used very well when it comes to the internet. Now, when it comes to the way that the internet has affected the business area of the world, there are many things pretty much that have happened. And when we look at kind of innovation and creativity, I think one of the biggest things really is the fact that we do have now apps that make it a lot easier. We're accessing, different kind of, software and different services and so on, literally on our phones. So again, this is really kind of helped us. And especially when it comes to learning as well, as we've got this downtime right now, it is time to start looking at ways that we can elevate and learn as well. And I say one of those things could be LinkedIn Learning, which is great. If you want to learn some more skills, maybe you're looking to kind of learn how to do web design or something like that. There's Skillshare, which is out there. There are so many things. Udemy, which you can use. Even Harvard have started to have their online course material available for free right now. So there are a lot of things going on, especially access to learning different training materials. And not to forget that Google themselves, we also have a Grow with Google website where you're able to learn a little bit more about digital marketing and things about digital as well. So it's also meaning that we're connecting to many different markets, especially, where we are right now. I can communicate pretty much to anyone around the world as long as there is an internet connection. And this is allowing us, especially as business owners, to start to trade internationally. We can have a website and we're able to kind of sell our products all around the world. We're able to see what our customers feel and think about our products straight away. Again, this is really easy, especially when it comes to using the internet and some of the services which are there. So again, these are just an overview and to show you really what we have right now. The internet is a lot more than just communicating and entertainment and so on. We can learn from the internet, we can grow our businesses from the internet, we can use it to connect to other people to try and help our businesses grow. So again, please, let's try and look at the internet in a way where it is definitely going to be something to benefit us as we go on. So let's just take a look at some of the industries, again, which are going online. And I'm going to pick out one or two of these, which I've definitely seen there's been a change in. So marketing has definitely seen a big increase when it comes to being online. We are used to kind of seeing, paper kind of marketing material and all the rest of it. But now things have become digital. It's allowing us to kind of see the behavior of the way the audience or the way that customers are buying our products, which again is helping us understand how we can market to people. Also, when we look at retail, we're seeing a lot of online stores right now that are doing very well. And again, the whole thing of having to pay for your overheads, having to pay for a shop, you don't really need to do this. We actually just have a website where people go to and they buy their products, and it's pretty simple. So again, retail has definitely seen a big thing as well. Same thing again when we're kind of looking at healthcare. Healthcare has also seen a big thing online too, and there are now doctors who are giving video conferences or even video calls to make sure that their patients are fine. So this has come a long way. But again, most of this stuff is now starting to go very digital, okay? And it's now for us to be ready for this digital technology, okay? And especially for the internet and the advantages that we can use right now in order to help and grow our business. So just some examples there. Now I want to back this up with some stats that we've got. So here's why businesses are going online. And as you can see, 1.79 billion people shopped online last year. That is crazy. Now, if you're looking to start a business or you have a business and you're not online, that's a big market that you're losing out on. You know, and you can see here 97% have learned more about businesses online than anywhere else, okay? And 95% of purchases will be bought through e-commerce by 2040. How crazy is that? Now look at that, 95%. When we look at just trading online, you know, that is quite a really, really big thing when we are trying to make our way to that prediction. But again, it's showing you that we are going this way. And again, if you're looking to kind of get your business going, online is a great opportunity in order to do this. So let's take a deeper look into how we can use the internet for our businesses. So as mentioned, selling products, I think, is one of the biggest things. E-commerce, as we call it, is a big thing. So again, if you find that you've got products, and obviously at the moment, you know, we are in lockdown and, you know, we can't physically get to places. So those online stores are now becoming a big thing for us to be using right now. So, you know, selling products is a big thing. And we probably buy products online as well, which you can see is also a big thing too. So many different sites are out there like Amazon and so on that we use to buy our products. We mainly will look at reviews as well to make sure that our products that we're buying definitely are worth it. Also another thing as well for advertising. Now I mentioned before about digital marketing, and this has taken a really big thing online and has enabled many people to promote their businesses and be able to sell, you know, and also get that information coming back to see how well their products are doing, see how well their business is doing as well. So that research and that feedback is really good. So again, advertise is a big thing. We're going to touch on that a little bit more as we go through our presentations within the next 3 hours. Also how we can reach customers and research the competition as well. So more of this when we come to just trying to market our businesses. We'll explain a little bit more about that, but these are just some of the bonuses if you're looking to make your business kind of go online and use the internet in order to sell your products. Now, other things that you can also see as well. So where could you be online? Okay, so let's just try and think about that. Now, if you're a business, where are the platforms? Now, firstly, you could have your own website, which, you know, is a first. Many of us should have our own websites when it comes to, you know, selling our products online. And that's the main thing. But again, if you don't have, let's say, the expertise or maybe the money to kind of build your website, there are other ways that you can get it going. And this is what we're going to explore in this presentation. So you could use a social media platform. I think many of us know that Instagram and Facebook are doing really well. And if you are a business, you could just sign up, let's say, to Facebook and create a Facebook business page. Same thing with Instagram. There is no need to be worrying about, oh, I need to get in touch with a web developer, or I need to know about coding and stuff like that. No, we can go to these websites. They have a template which is made for us, and we're able to literally just fill in a template, press click and go, and then we're now starting to trade online. So we'll explore this a little bit more. Now there's also online directories as well, and these are kind of websites that will create a platform for you to sell on. Okay, so there are many different ways again that we can kind of look at this, and then the e-commerce platforms are pretty much the same, where we can use, let's say, Amazon Marketplace and be able to trade. But again, because the website is kind of made already for us, all we're doing is we're using that platform in order to sell our products through it, and it's a reputable platform like Amazon and so on. So again, these are just the ways that we can be online. And again, if you don't have your own website, there are many different ways that you can sell and be present online without having to kind of have your site. But we're going to explore all of these as we go on. Now, building that online presence is a big thing, and a lot of us now have our phones and have our laptops and so on, and we want to be able to kind of connect with businesses. So making sure that you do have some kind of presence online is really important, you know, whether it is going to be a website, whether you've got your stuff on Google My Business or so on. Some kind of presence is needed, because most of us, the majority of us, are actually doing a lot of stuff online. And just to back this up, Africa, when it comes to e-commerce, okay, we've got 400 million internet users in Africa, okay? Second only to China. So that is such a big market of people who are online right now, okay? And if we're not in that marketplace, we're missing a big chunk of business right now. So you can see that is a very big number of people which is online. 10% of retail sales with an estimated value of 75 billion by 2025. So again, this is quite a big thing, you know, when we're kind of looking at those figures and how much money is being made. And then also 16.5 billion revenue generated from e-commerce in 2017. Now, if our businesses are not online right now, I think we're missing a big chunk. So again, just to back that up and show you the importance of being online, as you can see here, which is definitely a market we need to be in. Now let's take a look at some of the e-commerce platforms which are available to us. Now again, if you don't have a website and you want to use a reputable platform in order to sell your products through, here are just some that you can take a look at. Amazon, for me, is one of the big ones. We normally find that when we go to look for a product on Amazon, you know, we have the Amazon marketplace. And this is where individual businesses are selling through the platform of Amazon. And this is great because, again, they're not having to kind of worry about, oh, I need to have that website and so on to get going. I'm able to kind of use Amazon. And some of the other ones like Jumia, Konga, these are other ones that are doing quite well. So in Konga in Nigeria is the leading e-commerce platform, as you can see. And I wonder if you guys are actually using any of these. Can you let us know in the chat? So again, we've got our moderators there. Let us know if you're actually using these e-commerce platforms right now, and are they working out for you? So again, we want to know, especially in the chat. Let's keep it very interactive. Let us know if you are using these type of e-commerce platforms. And again, just if you do want to be able to kind of use this, the way that you can get started is very simple, as you can see. So basically what we're looking at here is just a screenshot from Jumia, and this is an e-commerce website, okay? And as you can see, it's very easy to set up. Now if you have yourself a mobile phone, or if you have yourself a computer, a desktop or a laptop, you can do it either way, but it's very simple. You can head onto the website and you'll be able to kind of create your account, put your business information in there, your bank details, and a summary of the products that you're selling, and literally you're using this platform. So again, if anyone has been using Jumia, it would be really good just to let us know in the chat how well it's going out for you, you know, and has it been successful. And again, if anyone is looking to do this, sign up, take a look. There's no harm in doing it, you know, just to see if these platforms are going to work for you. So again, if you're looking to maybe use Amazon, here is another, you know, e-commerce platform, as mentioned, the Amazon marketplace, which again is a great place to be trying to look and get new customers to come to your business. So again, very simple. You can head on to Amazon, head on to the Amazon marketplace, and as you can see here, you can include your region, business information, contact details, and pretty much the same again, your bank details and so on. So, and then you can get started kind of, you know, selling your products through Amazon. So these are just e-commerce platforms. And to mention again, if you don't have a website, maybe you're looking for a platform which is very simple for you to sell your products. These e-commerce websites are very good, and they save you a lot of time and that we've got. So please take a note of some of these. You can do a screenshot if you want to, or just come back to the presentation as mentioned before. And again, these are just some where you can have your products and so on sale, but you don't need to worry about having a website or anything like that. Now there's also the online business directories as well, okay? So as you can see here, we've got the Africa business pages. So again, if you're a business, okay, maybe you're offering a service or something like that, these are great platforms to be on, you know, like the yellow pages of Africa, as you can see here. We want to be part of that business directory and offer maybe B2B services, or maybe just services in general to consumers. And again, it's not difficult to go to these websites, set yourself up an account. If you have yourself a mobile phone, you can access this, you know, and again, it's quite easy to do. What I would say as well is we do kind of promote some of the apps that we've got here. So we've got the Google app, which you can use just to help you to kind of set up and navigate as well. So this is really cool. And if you are a business, be part of the business listings. And as you can see here, Yellow Pages of Africa and Africa Business Pages are just some of those platforms that you can use if you are one of those businesses. Now, again, if you do want to get set up on this with the Africa Business Pages, it's as simple as going to their website. So again, you can do a Google search, go to their website, and then start to register your business details. Now, it's a very, very simple form. You don't need a computer necessarily. You can do all of this on your phone, as I keep pointing out. And again, it's as simple as putting in your contact details, you know, to put in what your business sector is and also your region in Africa of where you are. So again, make yourself visible online. And again, if you're a business and you're not online, imagine we were looking at those stats there. That's a big market that you could be missing out on if your presence is not online. So again, I'd recommend just setting yourself up. Now, again, just in the chat here, we've got our moderators. Let our moderators know if you are using Africa Business Pages or also Africa Yellow Pages as well. Let us know if you're already listed on those directories and how well they are doing for you. Let's start to have this conversation in the chat and just see if there are like-minded business owners that have successfully used these tools in order to promote their business online. Now, one of my favorite ways of trying to get your business to be present is social media. And I've mentioned this before. If you don't have, let's say, time for a website or anything like that, or you don't have the technical know-how, you could use social media platforms in order to promote your business. As you can see, there is a whole range of social media platforms. The majority of these are free. We don't even need to pay in order to set up a business account and then start to promote our business, our products as well. So as you can see, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, you know, again, we're missing one or two like TikTok and so on, which is doing quite well. But these are, you know, our social media business pages. They all have a business option and will help us promote our business and sell our products as well. So what I want to do is now go through some of these social media platforms potentially that you can use. Now, we'll get started with Twitter. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are using Twitter. Let us know in the chat because we want to keep it really interactive. So anyone who's using Twitter, let us know. And Twitter is really, really good for either discovering new businesses, announcements what might be going on as well, which is quite good. You can use it as a PR tool, but you can also use it to run polls as well. So if you maybe have a product you're trying to bring to market, you want to do some research, you can run polls in there, questions, and you can really engage with loads of communities, you know. And what I will say as well, especially with Twitter, which is working quite well, is it's based on text, but you can also add, you know, GIFs, videos, photographs to your tweets, okay? And again, it's quite a good way to kind of just be tweeting or retweeting or even getting in communication with other like-minded businesses and people. But your customers purely will be using Twitter, maybe to communicate to you as well, maybe sending you a direct message. So Twitter, I really like. It's very quick, very efficient, doesn't use a lot of power, you know, and it's all text-based. So Twitter is very good. And again, it uses the system of hashtags. So these are like words that you can associate with the post that you put out there. And again, people can follow those words. They can either search on Twitter for a particular word, and again, it may bring up what you are promoting. So again, this is a very good platform. Now, as mentioned before, Facebook for me is really good for anyone who doesn't have a website and is looking to get their business up there. Now, again, we've got the e-commerce section, but Facebook also has a business page as well. Let us know in the chat if you've ever set up a Facebook business page. Let us know. It'd be really good just to see. Now, again, this is really good. It's free, firstly. Okay, don't need to pay for it. So we can go onto Facebook, we can sign up for a business page, e-commerce. Now the great thing is that you can easily start to populate your products. You can even have a, you know, posting area when you have announcements of brand new things, people will know. But there are other things as well, like your opening hours, contact details. There's even options to have plugins as well. So anyone who kind of wants to add like appointments or anything like that, you can have appointment system options, which are on Facebook as well. Now imagine this is free. We're not having to kind of spend a lot of time kind of building a website from scratch or, you know, communicating with a web developer. We can actually do all of this just by going to Facebook and setting up a business page. So I would definitely recommend this as a great platform to get started with for your business. Now, Instagram for me is really doing well. It's trending very, very highly in the world as a social platform. TikTok is also doing the same thing too, but Instagram is definitely been the big thing. Now, Instagram originally, when it started, was for artists, photographers, filmmakers. That's basically how it started. And then it grew, and now we're starting to see a lot of influencers, businesses, and so on, which are using Instagram in order to promote businesses and sell products. So again, Instagram is a free platform. It works on your mobile phones, and you're able to kind of download that application and set up a business page. What I really like about Instagram is a visual concept. There are different ways that you can do your posts. They could be photos, they could be videos, they could be stories, and it's all got a community base on them too. So whenever you post something, people can leave messages on them. Now, it also uses hashtags as well. So these are these keywords that you can use to associate with your post so people can try to find you as well. But it's a great place to start to, create awareness or maybe even sell on this platform too, as it does have an e-commerce option as well if you are interested in that. So again, Instagram, very, very good as well. Now, for the business owners who maybe provide services to businesses, LinkedIn is great for that. Okay, and I would definitely say that it's a great kind of social network, a professional social network for connecting with other businesses or other people that you could potentially be working with. Now, if you're also looking for a job as well, LinkedIn is a great place for that. It's a big place with different businesses, different people who work for those businesses, and you can connect with them very, very easily. So firstly, if you are a business and you may be looking to get yourself started on LinkedIn, you could get started with a business page on LinkedIn, okay, with just company profile, some details about your company. But what is even better than that is the fact that you can put all of the people who work in your business to actually be there too. So again, people will see all of the different kind of departments and so on who are part of that business. Now, it's also a good way to connect with other business users or like-minded people. And again, you might find that there are articles on there which will help you grow, help you understand, or maybe even connect with like-minded business owners. So I really like LinkedIn. Anyone who's got a service which is selling to businesses, I would definitely say LinkedIn is the way to go. YouTube, we're here on YouTube right now. I think it's a really big thing. There are many, many businesses that are using YouTube, and pretty much what they're doing is they're offering, content marketing, as we might call it. So this is free offerings. They could be videos that are very useful to the audience. You might find that, we go onto YouTube to learn, to be entertained, but the learning stuff definitely is a big thing. And if you're giving away information, people are going to kind of, start to follow you, and you're creating a presence online through the videos that you make. And actually people can go ahead to your website and maybe find out a little bit more about your business, but trust you, again, because they can see these videos that potentially you're making to help better the customers' lives. So I would definitely say that YouTube is a great thing. At the moment, we're on YouTube right now, and it'd be good to know in the chat if any of you have been using any of these social media platforms. So just to run through them again, Twitter, if anyone's using Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, we'd like to know. Oh, and also YouTube too. We'd like to know if you guys are using that too. So let us know in the chat. Let's keep it really, really interactive on here. Right, so I'm just going to pause for some questions right now, as we have kind of, done quite a bit, and I'm sure there might be some questions there. So let's get that going. I want to again thank Elizabeth and God Knows for just moderating the chat. So please, if you have any questions, please let them know. So here's the first question. Are there any platforms to use when you don't have a product to sell? More a service you offer if you don't have a website? Yes, very good question. I would definitely say services, like if you are maybe a designer or something like that, or you can maybe do stuff remotely, I would say Fiverr. Now, I would definitely say with the moderators, if you can just put that URL in there, so Fiverr, people per hour, these are platforms where you can sell your services. And again, people can come to your profiles, they'll be able to kind of see what you do and then be able to add. So again, Fiverr, I would definitely say, yeah, that is the way to run on that. So another thing that I'd also say too, that we have there. So another question is Google My Business in US the same thing as a business directory? Yes, it is. So Google My Business really is a business directory. It's using search, so that's where it kind of operates from. So again, yes, Google My Business is a business directory, just like the African pages. Again, we can use this in order to promote. But these are some great questions, guys. Please do not be shy. I'd definitely like you guys just to be giving those questions to the moderators, but I like them. Keep them coming, as this is really good. Hopefully everything is quite interactive in the chat there. Again, thanks to Elizabeth, and also God knows as well, if you've got any questions, please get involved in the chat which we have here. All right, so what we're going to do is continue with some of the other options. Now, what we've explored is the e-commerce options, right, which is quite good. Again, if we don't really have the resources to kind of build our site, then we can obviously go ahead and use social media platforms as well, as mentioned, like Facebook and so on. But what about if we do want to build a website? I would always say it's always good to have your own website, and a lot of us might be very scared in trying to do that, right? Trying to actually set up a website. So I want to know in the chat, and let us know if you have actually set up your own website, okay? If you have, great, let us know how many people actually have their own websites. But if you don't, what we're going to do here is we're just going to run through how you can set up your website, okay? So we'll do this briefly, and again, you can pause, you can always come back to stuff with this, as this video is going to be made available for later on. Now, firstly, if you are looking to create your website, the first thing to do is to look for your domain. What is a domain? So a domain basically is the name of your website, okay? Normally it is www.john.com or something like that, and that's the first thing that you kind of need to look for. Now, you can go to different places in order to register and sign up, but as you know, it's a big world out there, and there are many different domains that could have been taken. So you have to do some research, find a suitable name which is definitely going to connect with the business that you're trying to create online, and definitely a domain is the first thing to start with. So some of the domains that I could definitely kind of recommend, or domain companies, GoDaddy is a big one for me. I also use another one called 123reg. Also Bluehost is great. You'd be able to go to these websites, they will have a little search field in them, and you'll be able to just type in what you think your domain would like to be, and then what it will do is it will tell you if it's available or not, and how much is it going to cost in order for you to have it. So we've got .com, which is an international kind of domain, okay? But again, a lot of us will go for it, but you'll find there might be some other options where we can literally go ahead, see a cheaper price and go for that. So we definitely need a domain first, and what I will definitely say, guys, is make sure that you go to these different sites that we've got here, GoDaddy, Bluehost, and again, you can see here that with these, go in and register your domain. That's the first thing to do. Get your name first and see if it's available and buy that. Now, you'll be able perhaps to buy it for a year, maybe 2-3 years, depending on how long you want to have it. So I have a few domains myself. I've got quite a few. I'm not using all of them, but I just like to have them there so no one else has them. So later on, when I'm ready to kind of start that business, I've got the domain and it's saved for me. So this is definitely the first way I would say to start when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to building your website, I think one of the things just to mention is you have website builders. So if you don't have the technical know-how really to do the coding, do the back-end stuff, there are different kind of platforms that you can use. And firstly, Wix is a big one. I'm not sure if you guys have used Wix. Let us know in the chat here if you have been using Wix as a platform, but it's really easy. Now, what's great is some of these platforms will take care of the domain name for you. So you can actually go to that one platform, get your domain, and then start to build your website. And the good thing about this is it has many different templates that you can use, and it's as simple as drag and drop in and start to type, hit go, and it's done. Another thing as well is they are mobile friendly. So if you create a website, the majority of your customers are going to be using their phones. So you want to make sure that your phone works well or your website works well on the phone. Okay, so it's got to be mobile friendly. And most of these will automatically adjust to that. Okay, so Wix definitely is a good one. Squarespace is another one that many of us use. Now, for the more advanced kind of users, ones that kind of know how to do a little bit of coding, there is also WordPress as well, and I use WordPress to host a few of my websites. I like it because I can add many different plugins. There are various ways to add things, and there are many different templates out there, but WordPress is another thing that you can use, but you've got to have a little bit more technical know-how, I would say. Now, another one that's here is Google Sites. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have used it, but I've seen some really great websites be made with Google Sites. And again, once you have your domain, you can set this up, and it's pretty much free. You don't really have to pay too much for it. It's free. If you want to have more pages, you might have to look to have more storage space online for your hosting, but to be honest with you, it's fairly free. It's very easy to use. So there are many templates as mentioned, and again, you can see here, firstly, if you are going to Wix, there are some great templates. Click, go to the template, start to change the text, put your pictures in there, and that's it pretty much, you know. And most of these have great helplines on them too. So if you get stuck with Wix, you can always start to talk to someone online who can help you out. Squarespace also is the same thing too. So if any of you guys have used these different kind of website builders, let us know in the chat, and have you been successful using these as well. Now, the third step would be to upload the content, you know. So again, what you'll need to do firstly is try to work out the site layout of your website. Okay, so you're going to have that home page, and then you'll probably have other additional pages which can have your different products, how to get in contact, about the business as well, that type of thing. But again, it's just to have a site layout, and what I'd probably suggest is maybe getting a paper pen and actually just laying out the different pages on your site and how they connect with each other, because you want to make it quite easy to navigate, you know, because if your customers coming along and maybe your product is not there, not easy to see, then they're going to miss it. Okay, so again, we have to make sure that we've got that site layout great, but then it's very easy after we've done that to start to upload pictures. If we've got any videos perhaps that we want to connect to our website, we can also do that too by embedding and taking the links from websites and placing them in there. Very easy to change our text, but what I would say is maybe have a look at some other competition which is around you and just see what they're doing. Have a look at the way they lay out their web pages. It doesn't have to be complex. The more complex, you might scare away your customers, so you need to make sure it's very easy to access the products and get to where we need to get to. So again, pretty cool. Now, just some practices, especially when creating your website. Now, we need to really think about the audience, need to think about the customer. And if you do have a website, how easy is it to navigate and get to the products? How easy is it to navigate and leave my email to get in touch with you? And if you notice that you go on your site and you have to go through a couple of pages in order to get to where you need to get to, your customer might go, oh, no, maybe this is too difficult, I'll go somewhere else. So you have to make sure that we're thinking about the customer in mind and their journey and what they're doing. Now also, as mentioned, we can research and just have a look at what the competitors are doing. Have a look at the website, the language that's used, the images, the way that they display the images as well. This is also a big thing too. So having a look at what our competitors are doing. And goes into search, they put in a particular keyword, it brings up your website because that keyword is on your website. So for instance, if you're selling, let's say, trainers or something like that, you want to be able to make sure you've got those words that your customers are putting into search on your website in order to bring it up. So again, as we kind of go through it in the next up and coming sessions, we are going to talk a little bit more about how you can get yourself visible. So please stay tuned, don't go nowhere. Alright, so other things to mention too. Now I spoke about mobile, alright? The majority of us are on mobile. So as you can see here, 2.41 billion people will be shopping online worldwide. How many of us are buying online using our mobile phones? I am. I do it all the time. Let us know in the chat if you are. There's a majority of people which are doing this. And again, we could be, you know, on a social media platform. We see an advertisement, and the next thing we know, we're pulled into the actual website and start to buy stuff. So again, this is definitely something to keep in mind. If you have a website already and it doesn't work well on mobile, adjust it, because you may be losing a couple of customers this way. And as you can see here, some other figures: 21 million online shoppers across Nigeria, South Africa, and also Kenya, and 50% of consumers shop more on mobiles than in store. So if you have an e-commerce website, you're selling stuff and it doesn't work well on your phone, you're losing customers. And that's a big statement here that we've got from the statistics that we have on the presentation. So just to help you out, for some existing, you know, customers, users that may have their website online, how do you know if it's mobile friendly? Maybe you're not sure. So one of the things I could definitely say to you guys, moderators, if you can you put this URL in, which is g.co/test my site. This is really, really good. You can go to this website, put in your website detail in here, and it will do a scan, an analysis to see how well your business is, or your website is, and how well it performs online. So you might find that it's not mobile friendly. You might find it takes too long to load because the images are too large. So again, these are just some of the things that you may not know, but just by going to g.co/test my site, that's going to give you a lot more insight to how your website is behaving online. Okay, so I definitely would recommend that to you guys. All right, so we're going to pause for some questions now, and I'm going to go back into just our moderator chat. Let's see how we are doing on here. So we've got quite a few. Right, so I've got one here from Davin. I think I've said that right. I probably said it wrong. As a company providing a service such as sound and lighting during COVID-19, what do you think these companies should be doing in the meantime? Okay, really good, really good. So again, if your business is kind of stopped purely because obviously COVID-19, I think one of the things that you could be looking for is just trying to develop your marketing strategy and your marketing campaign. How can you make it better? So when the doors open for business, you are now starting to trade, and you potentially could be doing this internationally. Start to do your research. This is a time for you to look around the competition and see exactly what they're doing. So again, this is a great time to start building a campaign, a marketing campaign. Build that research and then start to make that go. So again, thank you for that. Temi, we have a question from you. So as regard to Google My Business, I've tried using it severely, but I get to the point where it says a code will be sent to activate. So what I'm going to say here, Temi, is if you can stay tuned for our next presentation, this is going to go a little bit deeper into setting up Google My Business. So please stay tuned to me. Don't go nowhere. Stay here, okay? And we've got that sorted out for you. And I'm just going to take one more question because we've got quite a few here. So what are the major factors why some social media pages like Facebook will rank higher in search results than related websites? And it's all to do with the site visits, how many people, and the engagement on that site. So it's a good question. If you have a Facebook business page, you've got loads of people traveling to that site, it's then going to be flagged up. You know, if you've got loads of engagement, you've got loads of posts on that website, you know, search through its indexing is going to be able to pick it out and go, you know what, I'm going to put you higher up to the search, because that's exact, guys. One more. All right, so the next question is there a platform that can post one ad or post messages, JPEGs, videos, and it's uploaded to to all platforms? Yes. So I think what you're talking about is maybe if you've got different social let's say platforms that you're using. Could be using Facebook, you could be using you know, Instagram and so on. If you want to kind of post to all of them, you can use something called Hootsuite, which is a way that you can kind of schedule your posts, and then you can be logged into all of your channels. So like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you can see everything in one whole. But be careful, there is a free version and a paid version. So hopefully that has answered your question right there. Thank you guys for your questions. We definitely like those, so please keep them coming. And again, for the ones that I haven't answered, I'm trying to answer them in the next session, which is coming up. So again, thank you for your questions, moderators. You're doing a fantastic job. So that pretty much brings us to the end of this presentation. To do with just getting your presence online. So if you're looking maybe to get your website set up, we've talked about domains, Wix, and so on. Maybe if you don't have the time to do that, maybe take a look at those e-commerce platforms like we were looking at Amazon, the marketplace, Jumia, all of those different that you can check out. And don't forget social media as well, because Facebook business pages, Instagram business pages, LinkedIn business pages are the ones that you should definitely be trying to look at in order to grow your presence. Right, so that's going to leave us to our next presentation, which is going to be in 10 minutes, which is about getting your business visible on Google. So if you already have your website and you're looking to have more presence, you want to get higher up in the rankings and so on, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. So please come back for that one, which is going to be at 1 o'clock. But guys, if you're leaving us, thank you again. Don't forget that this is going to be available after the presentation, so you can always come back and review. All right, so we'll see you at 1 o'clock for Get Visible, or Get Your Business Visible on Google. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully, you guys have had yourself a little drink or something, refresh yourself. My name's Ashton. If you're just joining us again, we've just finished doing a presentation of how to kind of get yourself online. Okay, now what we're going to take a look at is getting your business visible on Google. So anyone who already has a online presence and maybe wants to try and promote their businesses online, the next two presentations which are coming up are all to do with that. So we're going to concentrate firstly on Google My Business, and what I want to do is recommend to all of you guys that are here as well. We do have the moderators in the chat. I always do it the wrong way, it's this way. So again, God knows, Elizabeth or Lizzie, go ahead and just make yourself known in the chat. If you guys want to be able to leave any questions for me, place it into the chat and we'll be able to answer those when we have our break in our sections. So again, feel free to be as interactive as possible. If you miss anything, don't worry, this will be available for you to watch again, so no problems on that at all. You guys can always come back to the Grow with Google page and be able on YouTube to watch this again. So again, we really want to get your feedback as well. Just if you guys want to know more information and stuff, please let us know on here. But we do have our chat which is going on. So again, as mentioned, my name's Ashton, and what we're going to now get started with is how to get your business visible on Google. Okay, so let's get into that presentation right now. And yeah, so firstly, let's get our business visible on Google. When we really think about it, it's a search, most of us are using. And again, if we can be in top kind of rankings or be, present more so on search, this is definitely going to help us out to get more customers to come over to our sites and, do more business. So let's go and do this. Right, so let's break down the modules first. So firstly, how customers can find your business locally. So again, if you've got businesses which are around you, how do customers find you? How do customers find those businesses? So we're going to explore that a bit more. And anyone who doesn't know about Google My Business, the second part is us kind of going through Google My Business, how we can set it up. Firstly, also, what is Google My Business? We'll explain a little bit more about that. And then also building trust with customer reviews. So the reviews are a big thing. As you guys know, I use reviews in order to make a judgment if I'm going to buy anything or not. So again, this is really, really important for us too. So we're going to go through these 3 different modules in the next hour. And then after to come, we're going to take a look at digital marketing as well. So anyone who potentially, wants to get started in promoting their business through digital marketing, that's coming up in our next session at 2 o'clock. Alright, so let's get started really with this. Now, search is great, but the majority of us use Google Maps, right? Actually, I want to ask the question in the chat. Who has actually used Google Maps to find a business? Okay, let us know in the chat, yes or no, if you've used Google Maps to find a business. And as you can see, this is pretty much everywhere. We can find, our homes, other people's homes, but also we can find businesses as well using maps. This is a great place for us to promote our business, especially if we want to get to local customers that are around us. So let's take a deeper look at how customers can find us, especially when it's local. So what you'll normally find is when you go onto Google who's using maps, and we all kind of know this, is that we can click onto that business and we can find out information that we need to interact and engage with that business. So it may be that we need to know the opening times, what products are available to be sold, and then also maybe a link to the website in order for us to make a purchase or get involved with that business. But the great thing also as well when we use maps is that we can navigate to that business too. So you'll find that again, if we need to have directions to get there, it's quite easy to kind of use maps to do that. So again, for physical businesses, if you have a place and it's physical, this is great. We definitely need to have our businesses on Google My Business for this. So this is a little activity, and what I would say is, again, if you are watching this on your smartphone, maybe do this after the presentation. But if you guys can, I want you to go into Google search and I want you to put this in to Google and say, can you find a pizza which is near you? Okay, so I want you to actually go into search and just search for pizza near you, okay, pizza near me, right? And I'm sure that you guys might come up with, you know, different searches of different, let's say, pizza places, or, you know, places which potentially could be doing food, but pizza could also be on their menu, which could be around you. So again, this is just really for us to take a look at and see how that works. Now, when you do come up with it, you're probably going to find some local businesses that are around you that are selling pizzas or selling food around you, you know, and be interesting to know that when you guys do that search, what does come up first, you know, because you're probably going to get, like, you know, company name, picture, menu, website, opening times, how to get in contact, all of that stuff, which is really, really, really important when it comes to promoting and having our presence online. So again, just to let you guys do this, but really what I want you guys to kind of think about is when we go into search, we are putting in specific words to bring up relevant kind of pages that we're looking for. Okay, so if you done this activity and you went onto Google search and you typed to search for a pizza, you can see here some of the keywords you may have used could have been pizza, delivery, near me. Okay, so it's already kind of searching and it's bringing that up to you guys. But then also we've got local, Italian, restaurant. Again, you could see there were some other things there, nearby, Africa, all of these different things. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because these keywords are connecting to businesses that have the relevant keywords on them too. So you might find that there may be, let's say, a restaurant or maybe something which is around you, which is not necessarily only doing pizzas, but they're doing other things. But because they have pizza on their website, or because they have that keyword on their site, it actually brings up that page into search for your results. So again, this is just to show you that the keywords and the way that our customers will try to find us would be using these relevant words in order to bring up our businesses. Okay, so again, just to be thinking about the words that the customers are placing in there. Okay, so we'll come back to this, but again, it's just something just to mention to you guys. Now, I mentioned previously in a previous presentation about optimizing your keywords. Okay, now when we think about keywords, really all these are just kind of words that we know our customers are going to be placing into search in order to find us. So if we do have like a website, and that website is selling products and so on, and we know that our customers are going to put in a particular word into search. So for instance, it could be, I'll go back to the trainer example. We might have customers that are looking to buy some shoes and trainers. Now again, they could go into search and say trainers, or they could be really specific and go, okay, trainers for running, and that is kind of like a long tail keyword. We'll put that in the chat for you guys to research, so long tail keywords as well. And basically what they're doing is they're putting in those keywords, and search is going, hold on a minute, here's some other websites that actually have these keywords on them. I'm going to bring them to your attention. So SEO is something which could be done on your website just by literally having specific keywords placed throughout them. This could be done through descriptions that are on your, it could be in the description about that. But again, this is definitely something for you to make a note of. If you have not been looking at keywords and how to place them on your website, it's not going to be optimized to really be working that well on here. So I'll definitely say that this is something that we need to do to make sure that people can find us. So let's just take a look at some stats here. So 77% of smartphone owners regularly use navigation for apps. Who here just in the chat actually uses navigation? You know, Google Maps for navigation. I do. I use it all the time in order to get to places or businesses that I want. 67% say Google Maps is the preferred navigation application. Okay, say no more. Pretty much. Again, there's many people who use it. And 76% of local mobile searches for something nearby result in the same day visit in store. Okay, so that is showing you that people are actively going onto Google Maps and they are looking for those businesses there and now. Okay, so it's very important, and that business could just come to you straight away. So just look at those stats, and again, if our business is not on Google Maps, I think definitely we are missing out on some business opportunities that we can have. So just by looking at this, again, you can see here, run through some of the features that we've got. Now, Google Maps is great. Firstly, we can use the search at the top. It's international, so we can find businesses all around the world. And again, when we find that business, we can pull up what we call the knowledge card, okay, which is the business card that pops up. And it literally is giving us all the information about that business, you know, how to get to the website, opening times, how to get in contact, all of these different things. And it's important that we have our business shown on here. So again, if you do have like a physical business where people have to walk in order to get to your business, I know right now it's probably not happening, but again, we definitely want to make sure that we have this populated on Google My Business. And another thing that I can mention as well is that you can get directions to these places very easily. And again, what's nice is you might find that people save and bookmark certain businesses on the maps, so potentially they can go back and then start to, you know, investigate, research, and then contact that business that they need to. So again, these are just some of your options. Now, another search that you can do, okay, just as an activity, again, if you're finding that you are watching this on a mobile phone, pause, maybe do this later on, don't worry about it, but I would like you guys to search and have a look at this. Now, businesses near me, okay? Now, if you do that in your region where you are right now, use your phone, go to search, or you can go into Google Maps, and just place in businesses near me. Now, there'll be a search at the top. If you don't have Google Maps, go into Google and just type in businesses near me. Okay, it's going to do the same thing. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to bring up loads of businesses that are around you. Now, if your business is not showing up there, we're missing out. Okay, that's a big, you know, gap where it comes to customers not finding your business and knowing exactly what you do, especially if they're local to you as well. So again, you guys have probably tried this out, and you can see how easy it is to find those businesses that are around you, especially using Google Maps. You can see here that it literally is just using the different, you know, services and stuff which is around you in order to bring that to your attention. So we need to make sure that if we've got a business, that we are also on this directory as well. So what makes a listing stand out? Okay, so I want to ask you guys that question in the chat. All right, what do you think when we go to search for something on Google and we look for a business, what stands out to you? What's going to make you go ahead and further into the website, or maybe make a purchase, or give the business a phone call? What is it that you guys look out for? Okay, in most cases, for me personally, I will always look at the reviews of a business, but I also will look at the pictures as well. And again, if the pictures don't look too good, I'm probably gonna click off and go somewhere else. But let us know in the chat what it is that stands out for you on a business listing. Okay, so again, pretty easy just for you guys to know. Now, just to show you, when you do come across this knowledge card for businesses that are set up on Google My Business, is the fact that yes, you can put your images, you can have reviews, your address, also call to actions like give us a phone call or email us, right, which is quite important. But the main thing as well is having those business hours. Okay, so again, if you're a physical place, having the business hours definitely does help customers. And anyone who does a search who's maybe in the area is going to pick you up. So again, this is just to point out that the knowledge card that pops up whenever we search for businesses, these are just some of the elements that will pop up when we're looking at those business cards that we have there. So just to mention Google My Business, anyone who has not set up Google My Business at all, we're just going to walk through it, just introduce exactly what Google My Business is. So as mentioned, it's a free tool, okay? It lets you kind of manage your business, and it will show up in search and in maps, okay? So if you have a business and you want it to show up on Google, this definitely will help you, okay? And it will also help you to get higher up in the rankings as well. The more kind of reviews that you can get, the more activity that you can have going on in your Google My Business knowledge card, it's definitely going to bring some more people to you. So let's take a look into that. So engaging with customers on Google, it's, yeah, as mentioned, it's free. I think one of the big things as mentioned to you guys is that you get a knowledge card that pops up, okay, and that card holds all of the information that will get customers to kind of look and go, okay, cool, I can take a look at maybe some of the products that you might have very briefly, go onto the website, and again, we can see the call to actions on those will be either I want to, you know, give this guys a call, I want to email you, I want to get to the website. It's very easy, you know, for someone to go ahead, search and see that information on the knowledge card that shows up. But then also as well, it's a great way, let's say if you are, you know, appointment based or anything like that, you can actually have some of your bookings going in there too. But there's quite a few new features that you can have on there too. You can have kind of like a kind of blog in a way, so any new kind of things that are happening in your business, any new products and so on, especially if you're into food and so on, you could probably find that you can just upload your menu and update that, keep it going. So again, the more engagement that you have using Google My Business will definitely help you get noticed and shown a lot more better on Google and Google Maps. So let's take a look. If you need to create a Google My Business account, like how do we do this? How do we set this up so we can be on the Google Business directory? So firstly, you want to add your name, okay, which is quite easy. I would say literally just go to the Google My Business section or webpage. It can explain a little bit more to you, but you definitely want to have that business name on there. And literally it would be just to have your business email to use to set it up, and once that's done you can create the different categories that you're going to be selling in, put your location in, add your details. What's good as well is that if you've got other people within your business, they can also be part of it too, so you can have other people who can sign in to help you manage the Google My Business. You might have loads of reviews coming in and you're not too sure if you can handle all of it. Get someone else to help you out with it too, okay? And again, once you click finish, it will literally go ahead, go online, and it can be found on Google Maps and so on. So we're going to just walk through very simply of how you can set this up for anyone who's looking to get their business set up and verified on Google My Business. So very easy. This is just a walkthrough. You can see here, if you go to Google My Business, and I'm sure you guys can put the URL in the chat for us over here. Literally, if you go ahead, as mentioned, you want to put in your business email, okay? So if you have a business email, put that in there to set it up. And this is kind of what you're going to see. So it's going to ask you for your business name, and that will be the first thing that will get it set up. So again, whatever you do, have your business name, and also get ready to put the category of business that you're working in. Okay, and then also another thing is here is how do you want your customers to contact you. So again, this is where you can put your telephone number. This is important, like your call to action, telephone number, your website, all of those type of things, really important, so customers can get in contact with you straight away. Now we can imagine when we are on our phones and we find a business that we're really interested in, we literally just press on the telephone number and we're calling the business straight away. How quick is that? You know, in order to get people to our business and start selling, that is really, really quick. And we know that we can go into the knowledge card, press onto the website, press onto the email, press onto the phone, and it will have that done straight away for us. So really important for ways that we can be contacted. Now also ways to be verified as well. So normally how this works is whenever you set up a Google My Business account, we need to verify that you are the business, okay? And the location that you're saying is exactly where the business is. So what we do, the preferred method, is really for you to finish the complete form and then put in your business address details, and we will then send you a letter that has a code inside it. When you get that code, you can then tap that into your business or Google My Business form, and it will then validate your business, okay, which basically means that you're set up and you'll be ready to see your knowledge card on Google Maps and also on Google Search as well. But sometimes this is a little bit of a problem, so we're going to have a look at ways that you can get verified on here too. So as you can see, just very simply, we'll go through this. So if you are going through the Google My Business website, you can see here the process for verification literally would show up like this. Okay, so again, go to the section for verification to verify now. All right, and again, it's going to say to you, okay, well, we're going to post something over to you so you can get that code. All right. Now, again, one of the other things that if this is problematic, especially if the post, let's say box or system is not necessarily the best way for us to send and verify you, we also have a Google partner, okay, which you can use as well. So Africa 118. Okay, now if you go ahead to our Google partner website, okay, these guys can actually verify your business. All right, so you can go ahead to the web page. Please make a note of this. Go ahead to the web page and you'll be able to have a callback. Okay, so these guys will get in contact with you, fill in the form, they'll get in contact with you, and then we'll ask you various questions and verify your business for you. Okay, so it goes on to Google My Business. So Google My Business, gmb.africa118.com. Okay, again, for any businesses that need to get verified, you can also use one of our partners in Africa, which is Africa 118. Now, just to show you, when you do go ahead to verify that business, okay, you guys will probably have the link if you guys need to, just to add for support. But this has the verification form on here, okay? So you literally can go in, and this is where you can fill in your details in order to get your business verified. So as mentioned, if you are going to go through the Google My Business website, this is more of a postal thing, okay? We're going to have to send you a letter and so on. But if you have any troubles with that, then we do have our partner Africa 118, okay? And this is where you'll be able to go onto the website, you can have a call back, and they can sort out the verification with you that way, or you can go to the link that we have here, fill in the form, and just await that verification. And once that's done, you only have to do it once, that's it. Then you'll have your knowledge card, and your business will then show up on Google Maps and also show up on Google search as well. So again, we do have our moderators in the chat here, so if there are any questions at all, let's answer them right now. So let's have a look at some of the questions that you guys may have offered to me to go through. And again, the moderators are doing a really good job, so again, thank you so much. Right, okay, so let's see. I've got Holly here. Had 2 reviews for Google My Business in mid-March. There was a delay on Google's end to show them. Now they are no longer visible. Any idea what happened? Right, that's a valid thing. Sometimes it does happen sometimes, but there may have been some issues there. What I'd probably do is I would raise a ticket and contact the Google My Business team. And how you can do that is by going to support.google.com. Okay, if you go there, and we've got all of our different products, you'll be able to click onto Google My Business, and then you can raise a ticket of what's happened and allow our business team to get in contact and just see and resolve the situation for you. So I hope that helps. Moderators, if you can just put support.google.com, and that should be fine to get that going. So Holly, thank you so much for your question. Okay, we have another one here. What does review mean in the list stand out? So what I'm trying to say here, really, I guess, is we want to have as many reviews as possible. And again, we may use reviews to gauge whether we want to go ahead with that business purchase or go ahead and, you know, have that service. So reviews definitely are a big thing. So when we were doing the exercise of, you know, going online and finding a business or finding a pizza near us, you know, we definitely want to use the reviews in order to help us make that decision. So I think that's what you mean on there. All right, okay, now I've got another one. Do you have to have a registered business for Google My Business? In most cases you don't, but you definitely need to have, you know, some kind of presence online, I would say. You know, you definitely want to have like a business email or something like that, especially when it comes to the verification process. The more that you can offer will make it very easy for you to be verified. So again, you might find there are different things that they will ask for. So don't forget, our moderators are in the chat again. So again, God knows, and Elizabeth, I know you guys are doing quite well there. If you have any other deeper questions, these guys can answer them, but keep your questions coming. As Google My Business, definitely there are a few questions around that, definitely. All right, cool. So let's keep moving on. I like the questions, and again, you guys want to keep it very interactive, so please put your questions in and we can get this answered right now. All right, so let's just have a look at some stats here. So, a complete Google My Business listing is very, very important. Okay, so as you can see here, 2.7 times more likely to be considered and be trustworthy. That's very true. I think once you have your business on Google My Business, like we just know, most of us would click and trust that business. The fact that it has been verified, the fact that it does have the knowledge card and all of the information on it, I'm likely to go ahead and do business with them. 70% more likely to attract more visits. True, using Google Maps. If there's anyone who's within the area or searching within the area for a particular business and you're there, that's you. Okay. Also, we've got 50% more likely to lead to a purchase. I need say no more. I need to say no more. All I would say definitely is just if your business is not on Google My Business, it's free. It will help you definitely get more business to your business. Do it. Okay, sign up and get that sorted, because again, the verification, once you've gone through that process, it works really, really well. And I've got a business myself where I've actually, set it up a couple of years ago. What is really cool is it tells you as well, it gives you emails to tell you how much engagement you've had, how many people have come across and interacted with your knowledge card, so you can see how well you're doing, and also the other businesses that are in the area. So definitely these stats make sense. Let's talk about how we can manage, especially anyone who has like a Google My Business account already. How can we manage it in order to stand out and definitely just, be more present when people are searching for businesses like ours? So what I would say firstly is adding photographs is one of the biggest things. So company logo is definitely a big thing. You want to put that in there, but then also some really nice enticing pictures. So it could be, let's say if it is a restaurant or you're doing food, try and think about the ways that you can really nicely take pictures of your dishes, or maybe of your products. You might just want to have a clean space, make sure you got some nice images. Don't forget, you can use your phone. Okay, there's no problem with that. You can use your phone. The phone's got great cameras on them, so we can just use that. It doesn't need to be too complicated, but make sure it's decent. Now, another thing as well is to make sure the information is up to date. There are many, many kind of businesses I've seen on Google My Business who don't update their opening hours or don't update the information, and what that leads to is negative reviews. Okay, and then the more negative reviews, it's not really going to help our ranking and be more visible on Google. So you definitely need to be making sure that the information that's on it is up to date, and it will change. I mean, for the moment we are in COVID-19, so the information is slightly different now. So if you do have one, make sure you keep it up to date. Now, also, I mentioned the fact that you can, this is a kind of a new feature that they've got, but posts and promos. So this is kind of like a blog, which you can basically just have, let's say if there's any new products, anything which is going on, let people know. And you can do this using the Google My Business option for posts. And it works out really well. The more that you can do it, the more engagement that you get, the higher up we're going to get, and more recognition on Google search. So definitely would recommend that too. And you definitely want to respond to the reviews. Now, I think one of the biggest things I can say with reviews is that treat them like they are people walking into your business, physical people. If someone came to your business and they said, oh, actually, no, I really had bad service here, I don't like it, we wouldn't ignore them. We would want to deal with and sort out the matter straight away, right? Whereas when we do this online, I've seen it many times that a few people or few businesses that have Google My Business get bad reviews and it's just left. And really what we want to do is we want to actively show online that we are left all these bad reviews. Can I delete them? The answer is no, you can't delete them. But if you are getting loads and loads of bad reviews, and maybe it's someone trolling your Google My Business, what you can do is you can go and raise a ticket with the business team. Okay, so again, support.google.com, find Google My Business, and there will be an option to get in contact and leave a ticket. So definitely that is something I would say for you guys to do to manage your listings. Now, just to mention as well, we'll go deeper into it, but for adding your photographs, I mentioned before the logo is a really important thing. The cover photo, as you can see with the example that we've got on the side here, this looks enticing. Let's think about the ways that we can make this really attractive. And you can see just from this example here, we've got some nice colors that really pop, and it looks like I definitely want to go ahead and eat at this place. Okay, so think about the actual images. If you're not too sure, you might want to go on maybe take a look at social media platforms, Instagram or so on, and just take a look at some of other businesses that are doing really well in terms of, let's say, food or other products that your business aligns with, and just take a look at the way that they're taking their pictures. The images are definitely going to attract more people to your business. Okay, if the image doesn't look good, people are going to click off and they're going to go somewhere else. Okay, so images definitely make a big thing. Okay, now you can also add additional pictures as well if you need to. I've seen many that have loads of different options when it comes to photographs as well, and there's even an option to do a 360 view as well. So depending on the type of phone that you have, you can actually go ahead and do a 360 option. Okay, so there is a Google option to do that too. Okay, but if you do want to have more information, you can go to support.google.com/business/answer. Okay, and we probably put that in the chat on the side over there too. So as mentioned, because we're in the situation of lockdown and COVID-19, some of you may have already kind of updated your opening times, but if you haven't, please go ahead to your Google My Business page and ensure that you click onto info and update your business times. Okay, because again, because of what's going on, you might find that your actual presence is not there. You're not literally open right now. So again, you might find that you'll need to go ahead and just open up your times or even decrease your opening hours on here. So you can see when you do go to this section, just at the bottom here, you can add hours which are there. Okay, so again, you can have temporary hours as well. Okay, if you find that, again, because this is only for a particular situation, there are different ways that you can just show when your business is operating. So again, I'll definitely recommend this for anyone who's having issues, with people going, I don't know when you're open. Go ahead and just ensure you update your hours, and you can have a temporary option as well. Now, also other things that you probably want to place in is updating your business information. Okay, make sure that, let's say if you did have some information there before, is it up to date? What has changed? We want to be active on this all the time, so you definitely want to know that, let's say if there's any new additional services that have come around right now, why not put that into your business details? Keep that information up to date. And the more that we're doing that, the engagement that people are going to go, okay, hold on, this business seems to be alive because they're up to date, the hours are up to date, and the information's up to date as well. So go back to your business cards and make sure that you have filled in the relevant information. Now, what we're looking at here is the desktop version of Google My Business, right? So Google My Business desktop version, great, no problem. But what about us with mobile phones? And everything pretty much that we do on the website can actually be done through the Google My Business app in order to manage your business. So as you can see here, very simple. When you bring it up, you'll be able to easily update your photographs straight away. So if you've been taking pictures with your phone, you'll be able to take those pictures and upload them directly to your knowledge card on Google My Business. Also a great way to engage with those reviews. So normally you find that if people are leaving you reviews and you're not using your phone or maybe using this app, you're probably going to take a little bit longer to get back to people. But the fact that you can actually answer the questions also, not just reviews, but questions, that is great and enticing and allowing users to come over and go, yes, I like it. But then another thing as well is the analytics. Okay, if you want to know how many people are discovering your business, I mentioned before that I have a Google My Business card, and it sends me an email now and again. It just tells me how people have discovered, how well I'm doing in terms of visibility of the local businesses in my area. Okay, so you will get these analytic emails that will just literally come to you and will give you that information, and you can see how you can maybe improve or maybe how well you're doing. But this is really important, and I can't stress it anymore that you definitely should get this app, because it's going to make life a lot easier, guys, if you have the Google My Business app. So just ways that we can stay ahead, of the competition which is there, okay, especially when it comes to Google My Business, right? So we definitely want to make sure that when we're making these decisions, when it comes on to, promoting stuff, that we are informing, and this is updated literally on the business card, so we make sure that it's fine. Okay. Also, as well, if you're not too sure about how you can kind of deal with those reviews or maybe best ways of practice, have a look at some other businesses around you that are doing really, really well. How are they dealing with those reviews? How are they handling the customers? You know, what's the best way that works for your business? All right. Now, also another thing as well is understanding what services that your customers want to see as well. If there might be some offers that they'll be interested in, why not post about it on Google My Business, because you're able to have a blog post and just put some promotions and so on there too. Okay, so this is also quite interesting. Now, another thing as well is that you definitely want to have a look at the trends of what people are buying, right? So you know that you can bring it to the customers just when they need it. Okay, so definitely trends is a big thing, and this is something that's going to move us on into our next half of our presentation. So I want to kind of bring up just a profile of a business in South Africa. This is a fashion business. They're doing really well, Immerville, which is really cool. They're basically based in Cape Town. And just from having the Google My Business knowledge card set up, okay, they've actually increased, okay, so they're actually getting more views, as you can see from the stats here. And again, they've made sure that on their Google My Business card, and you guys can check this out if you want to, if you go ahead and just put this into search, you'll bring up the business just as a great example. And you can see that they've got images, they've got links to their website. The website looks really good as well. But again, they pop up. Anyone who's searching on Google Maps in that specific area literally will be able to kind of bring up this business. So again, they are definitely getting a lot more engagement and attraction by having this here. So again, definitely, I would say, even if you are a fashion store or something like that, they still have their knowledge card up. They even have been posting different events and so on. So they've got some great stuff, which I like. And also we've got here Juma's Tours. This is actually another business which was founded in 2009, and it's basically a art tour. So what they do is they go around and they've got different kind of street art tours that they do. And again, it's really good. And just again, from having Google My Business, as it says, Google My Business is the perfect tool to stand out, showcase the different tours, stay in touch with customers and promote new offers and win new clients, right? So literally, again, they've got a great knowledge card. If you want to see these as examples, go ahead, make a note of this and take a look at the knowledge cards of these two businesses based in South Africa. And you can see here that again, they've really populated their cards. They're always putting in information, which is great. So I would definitely say these are great examples. Okay, and if you guys want to just see what they're doing, make a note of this business and just take a little look into it. Right, I want to move on to another free tool that is definitely going to help you when it comes to just ensuring that you know exactly what's going on in the world and the market of your business, and it is Google Trends. Okay, so guys, if you can place that in the chat, trends.google.com. okay, this is a great tool. It's really wicked. Like, it's free, and all I could say is that it's search inside out. All right, that's the way I can explain it. Search inside out. So normally when we go to search, we type in questions, all the rest of it. Now you can imagine the other side of it going, okay, so many people have asked this question, so many people are looking at this, so many people are looking at this. That information is definitely gold for us, okay, because we want to know exactly what is trending right now. What should we be putting up on our website? What should we be talking about on our sites in order to get customers over and join that line of communication and conversation? So let's take a little look into it. So again, what's great about it is that doing research, we can actually go into trends and we can maybe put one or two, let's say, of our products names or keywords that are in there, and we can see how well they've done over the last year or the couple of months or so on, right? So you can see it. And what's also good as well, you can see how well it's done and compare those as well. So you can have a confirmation chart and make sure that it's all compared, which is really, really good on there. It's also a good thing as well for keyword research. I mentioned before about search engine optimization, having specific keywords on your website that then let's say someone who puts it into search, it brings up your page because it's relevant, right? So what you could do is put in those keywords into Google Trends, and it's then going to be able to kind of show you how much engagement that keyword has in search, okay? And this is also good as well, maybe if there is like any promotions to do with, you know, certain times of the year, you can definitely find out what's going on. But what I really like about it is that you can see on an international scale the trends of search. So anyone who maybe is looking to do, let's say, international business or e-commerce internationally, which should really be anyway, you could probably see what's going on in the rest of the world. Definitely to recommend. So I'm just going to bring up a quick example here. We've got Anika, who's 36, she's from Mombasa, and she's a business owner. And what she does here is she sells women's fashion. And there are many different products that are here that she sells. So we've got blouses, dresses, jackets, skirts, shoes, all of those different things. Now what she could do really is go into Google Trends and put in these keywords, and she can see how well they have done over time. So just to give you an example about that, and this is a screenshot really of Google Trends you can see here. So you can go in, you can put in those keywords, so what we saw here, the blouse, the dress, all the rest of it, and you can put that in and you can see how well it's done in terms of search. So again, you might find that you might want to push particular products over a certain amount of time because you know it's doing well, you know, from the previous searches that have been going on. And again, you can compare to see how well it's doing. So again, for Anika here, she probably will be looking at those different keywords, putting them into trends, comparing them over time to see how well they're doing, when they spike. And that's going to help her really to maybe launch more of a promotion around that particular product. I hope this makes sense. I definitely will say trends is definitely a good thing. So again, trends.google.com. And as mentioned before, if you wanted to do keyword research, again, if you're doing SEO, okay, there are other things out there like SEO Rush is another thing that you can use. There are so many other different SEO sort of things. Keywords Everywhere is another one that you can use too. But what you can do when you go to Trends, as it's free, it's very simple. Literally just put in the keyword that you think your customers will be putting into search, and then it's going to show you the relevance and how well it's doing. You can then click onto it and it will then link to either websites or articles which has got the most traffic. Okay, so again, this is really good to know. If you're thinking, I'm not sure about what I should be really promoting right now, go into Trends. Google Trends is definitely the way to be going, because that definitely is going to help you know what's going on in the market. And this information is free. So again, if you haven't had a go at Google Trends, check it out, trends.google.com. And I'm sure we've got that in the chat there as well. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pause for some questions for the end of this presentation. And I hope I've given you guys like loads of information to help you guys out there. So let's see what we've got in the chat. And okay, so what is the knowledge card, please? Yep, I've got a question here. So the knowledge card, really, when we go into search in Google and we're searching for a business, what will happen is we get the search that shows up on the site, but we also got on the right hand side the knowledge card that shows up there. Okay, so again, that knowledge card really is the Google My Business. It's just the name of it, but I call it knowledge card. So Google My Business card, really, that's what it is. But we know this as a knowledge card because it also brings up other things as well. Let's say if you were looking for a particular famous person or something like that, it would also bring up that detail on that person. So, you know, you've got Google My Business, which is also a knowledge card, but you also have a knowledge card for other kind of, let's say, places, locations, celebrities, anything like that. It's that section on the side, the right hand side of Google. So thank you for that question. If you're not presently open because of COVID, how to change the info? As mentioned, what I would say is maybe download the Google My Business app on your phone and just update your listing. Okay, make sure that you've got all of the relevant information on there. Make sure that you are saying, okay, we're not open, but you can get in contact with us via the website. Just be present online because people may still be searching for your business online. So please just take a note of that. Now, if there are any other questions, I welcome them. But again, what I will say to you guys is please take a look at the Google My Business options. Okay, so as mentioned before, if you need to be verified, you can go to the Google My Business webpage, but you can also go ahead to Africa 118, and they are our verification partner. Okay, so again, if you're having any troubles being verified, please head along to that. Again, you can watch this presentation again. So again, there's something that you've missed, you want to go back to, it is going to be available online again. Please use all of this as a resource. The majority of things I'm speaking about today is free. We're not paying for this. This is actually free to help grow our business. And another great thing, as mentioned, is Google Trends. Anyone who maybe is building a website and wants to know, okay, well, how can I get to the top of the website and I don't want to have to like pay loads of money? Do your keyword research, and Google Trends is going to do that. Let's think about our customer, what they're placing into search in order to bring up a relevant business like ours. We need to know those keywords. And a good way that I can say this to you is be that customer. How easy is it to find your business? If you go ahead and you go online and you go into search, how easy is it to find the relevant business? How easy is it to find your business online? All right. And if you find that it's a bit tricky, then you need to do a lot more. Okay, it could be keywords for your SEO, Google My Business as well, also through social media, which is gonna lead us to our next presentation, which is gonna be coming up at 2 o'clock. And that is about digital marketing, okay, and the ways that we can promote our business using digital marketing strategies. So guys, I really want you guys to come back to that one. That's going to be at 2 o'clock African time. So I also want to thank God Knows and also Elizabeth as well, who's in the chat too over there. So if you do have any additional questions, please, you can let them know. I'm just looking here to see if I have any more questions, but I think, yeah, okay. Is there a free Google app that can be added to my Google My Business to allow bookings of appointments? Oh, good one. I would say for now, probably not, but you'll need to kind of just look. There might be some third-party options. There was also one other thing I didn't mention, is that if you don't have a website, there is an option for Google My Business to create a website for you. Okay, it's just a one-page website. That's all it is, and it's pretty simple. So again, I would definitely say that that's one thing. But at the moment, when it comes to making bookings of appointments, it depends on the regions of where that happens. So I definitely wouldn't confirm 100%, but there are some options there potentially to help you out to get those appointments going, okay, for Google My Business and sort that out. But the web page option, I did not mention before, so I'll definitely say that web page option is definitely something to look forward to, especially when you are trying to promote your business online and you don't have a website. So the Google My Business website works well. All right, guys, well, that pretty much is the end of how to get visible on Google. I hope I've given you some great tips and tricks on how you can promote your business using Google search. And again, what we'll do is in the next 12 minutes, we're going to take a look at digital marketing, which is next to come. So getting started with digital marketing, which is going to start at 2 o'clock. So go get yourself a nice refreshing drink. Come back to your computer or your phone, and we're going to be waiting here for you guys so we can talk a little bit more about how you can use digital marketing to promote yourself and your business. Okay, I want to welcome everyone back to the last presentation that we're doing. I hope you guys are fine out there and keeping safe, especially at this time. We have taken a look at, firstly, how to have your presence online. So looking at e-commerce sites, also, how you can set up a web page and so on. Our last presentation was how we can be more visible on Google. So again, looking at kind of like Google My Business and also SEO options there too. Wanted to get back to that question of the appointments, and depending on what category in Google My Business, you can actually go ahead and have the appointment system, but it really depends on the category that you go for. So I just wanted to address that question again. But guys, thank you again for returning back. It's going crazy in the chat. I'm seeing so many people with loads of questions and different things going on. I want to say a big thank you to God Knows and also to Elizabeth as well, who are our moderators in the chat. They're doing a fantastic job. And any questions that you guys might have, be interactive. Come and talk in the chat. We want to hear exactly the questions that you have. Let us help you with what you might have when it comes to trying to get your business working well and being present online more so. All right, so our next and last presentation is getting started with digital marketing. If you're just joining us now, my name's Ashton. I'm one of the trainers, Google trainers here, and this is going to be our last session that we're doing. If you are still with us, thank you for your time today. It's actually really cool to have so many people watching live right now. So welcome everybody. And again, if you've got any questions, our moderators in the chat, make sure you talk to them and get that going. Right, so our next session is based on getting started with digital marketing, okay? Now, there are various different forms of digital marketing, and we're going to go through pretty much all of them that are here. So what I would definitely say is definitely take a pen and paper. Don't forget that you can always go back and watch this again. This video will be live. It will be available again for you. So feel free to kind of like go back, watch it again, make some notes. But yes, we are going to touch on all of these. Let's take a look at the modules that we're going to take a look at in this section. So firstly, an introduction to digital marketing, really what it's all about and where we kind of have it around us. Also defining your digital marketing journey. Okay, so we'll take a little deeper into that and developing digital marketing content as well. So I'm definitely going to give you guys some tips and tricks on how you could definitely be using digital marketing to leverage your business and get more business users coming to you. So let's take a first look at traditional marketing. Okay, now normally marketing could be in a print form. Normally if we either let's say a newspaper or something like that, or perhaps it's a flyer or maybe a poster which is somewhere, but again we're kind of used to kind of the print and magazine options of advertisement, and it works well. It actually goes ahead and really does create engagement with brands as we have these different channels. But then there's also TV as well, television and radio. That's also a really big thing, and because we know audiences are really just kind of in tuned and looking or hearing any of these type of traditional channels, this is a great place for us to be marketing and putting in kind of our advertisements. So this is really traditional, but as you can see here, newspapers, magazines, billboards, and TV, radio as well, are common places where we find traditional marketing. So really interesting, but again, this is kind of what we're used to. But when we go ahead and we look at digital marketing, wow, it's a completely different world. We are being marketed completely. When we jump on our phones and we go onto websites, we go into search, we go onto YouTube. There are many different kind of marketing messages that we are being thrown to. And the thing about digital marketing is that it sometimes is actually placed in there for you to see. Okay, it's not something that for everyone to see. You could find that these type of channels are specifically giving you advertisements based on your interests. So again, the engagement is a lot higher than just having a potential just newspaper kind of advertisement that you could have there. So just to take a look at what we have in terms of digital marketing forms, search ads. Now we were talking about Google My Business previously, but again, you might find that when you go into search, you'll always have the ads which show up at the top. You know, they look a little bit different to the other results which are underneath. And again, many of us will go ahead and we'll click onto that. Actually, here's a question in the chat. Do you guys actually click onto the ads in search, or do you go down into the real organic version? So let us know in the chat if you actually click onto search ads, and has that worked out for you? Yes or no? Just let us know if that's working out. So again, search ads is a big thing. Video ads is mentioned. When we go and watch YouTube, we are presented with these different kind of video advertisements, doing really well, and has definitely created some new careers for YouTubers, shall we say, because that is definitely the way we get, or they kind of make their money from that. Another thing as well is display advertisements as well. So you might find that when you go to websites, newspaper websites, blogs, anything like that, there could be banners. Normally these also show up on apps as well. So if you've downloaded an app on your phone, you'll notice that, you know, there will be some advertisements in there as well, and that is all part of the display ads network that Google has. So again, these are just the different ways that we can actually use digital marketing. Now, another thing to mention about digital marketing is it's not just a one-way thing, it's a two-way thing, right? Because what we can do is we can sit back and we can engage and analyze exactly who we are connecting with, what type of audiences are really interested in our products, and maybe if it's not working, maybe we can fine tune our advertisement so it kind of works and sticks out more and it's relevant in our customers' faces. So again, this is just a real kind of overview. So I want to ask you guys a question. If you could place this in the chat, what type of marketing have you done? Which has worked out for you, but what type of marketing have you done? And if you can put it into the chat for us, so just let us know what type of marketing you have done. I'm going to take a good look and see, but yeah, if you guys can let us know what type of marketing you have done. And again, it could be traditional form of print, or it could be the fact that you've gone and done some digital marketing. What type of marketing have you done? And let's have that placed in the chat there. So we can make sure everyone's engaged with it. So again, if you do want to get involved in the chat, all you need to do is quickly just set up a YouTube channel. You don't have to put any videos in there, but what type of marketing have you done, which would definitely be something we want to know a little bit more about. Please share this in the chat and we'll be happy to kind of know a little bit more about it. So again, thank you. Let's move on, but again, it's quite interesting of the different forms of marketing. Let's just take a look at this. So digital versus traditional marketing. Okay, so when we look at digital marketing, you don't really need to spend money to be honest with you. You need some time, obviously, but you don't necessarily need to be spending money. You just need to kind of know the key messages and what is going to resonate with your audience, with your customer. Okay, so that definitely is one thing. It's low cost. When we look at traditional marketing, probably going to cost us a bit of money to have a space or an ad in a newspaper, or maybe on radio, or even television. I mean, some of the most expensive adverts we can find are going to be on TV. Now, another thing as well, as mentioned, it is not just a one-way thing. Okay, we can definitely interact and engage. I think a beautiful thing about digital marketing is we can see exactly where our message is reaching. We can also do kind of polls as well. We can do some researching and get that two-way conversation going on. And it's been great. Like, I've seen businesses create communities online, and it's helped their business grow, you know. So definitely the engagement is a big thing. Now, you might find as well that when we look at the investment that you find in digital marketing, you know, is a high return, especially if you can definitely be on these devices that people are using all the time. You know, a lot of kind of investment will come through it. So again, you'll find that once you kind of create your brand and you keep it going, especially on the digital marketing channels, it's there, it's set already, and you could just keep adding to it, you know. So again, pretty cool. And again, just looking at some of the options. So I'll give you a point here. When we look at ease to measure, okay, let's say you're doing a campaign and it's on Instagram or Facebook or something, we can go into the insights, which is more the analytics of your ad campaign, and we can see how well it's doing. We can see if we're actually meeting the goal that we're trying to achieve. So again, if we're looking to maybe have more sales under a particular time, we can use this to measure how well, and it's very, very easy to do, and the majority of it is free. You don't actually have to pay for it. Now again, it's not just based in one place. You can actually be an international business and market all around the world. The door is open for the world right now in terms of trying to promote. So you can pretty much be anywhere and just spread that message over. Now, another thing just to mention as well, it can be a little bit time consuming. If you're, just starting out doing it, you might find that it's going to take a little bit of time just to create a really big brand presence online. So again, it might take you some time. You may need to pay for it. Okay, some of us need to pay for it, and it does help, but let's go into it a little bit deeper. So these are the different types of digital marketing which is out there. Guys, if you can, just take a picture or come back to this, write this down. Okay, so we've got all of these really simple. So search engine marketing, SEM as we call it. So when we go into Google search and those ads that show up at the top, that basically is search engine marketing. Okay, and I'm not sure if some of you guys have used this before, but it's definitely something which works really, really well in search. We've also got social media marketing. For me, is one of the biggest ones right now, and a lot of businesses are doing very, very well using social media marketing. They're using these different channels which we mentioned in our first presentation: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. There's so many, LinkedIn. All of these are out. So again, these are great channels in order to start promoting our business, as there is an audience there already. Display marketing, mentioned before, but display marketing really is when we go over maybe to a website or maybe an application. We've downloaded an app on our phone and we're actually able to kind of be presented with a banner which pops up, and it's kind of like a billboard really, which is being advertised to us on a relevant website. So again, display marketing works out really, really well. And also some of those videos, adverts that we see on YouTube, it's all part of that network too. Content marketing for me is one of my favorite ones. Okay, it's one of those where we're not trying to sell to the customer. We're not trying to sell, we're trying to inform them. Okay, so you might find that you may have gone onto YouTube or you may have gone into Google and you're looking for an answer for a particular question that you might have. You just need some advice, and you might find a blog or maybe a case study or something which is out there which really helps to understand that question. And I tend to do this. I will go on YouTube, and if there's a question, I'm gonna type it up and go, okay, right, let me figure out who's got a video to show me how to do something. And that pretty much is what content marketing is. We're creating that marketing which is not really selling, but it's informing. And what you tend to find is that it creates great brand awareness where people come along and they'll see this, maybe this content marketing, and then want to follow up where that business is and what they do, maybe end up on the website and making a purchase, something like that. So the other thing is email and text marketing. Okay, so another good thing, but again with this, it's probably good if you have, let's say, an existing customer base. If you already have an audience that has signed up, they know exactly who you are. It's a good way to keep them invested in some of the new options or new products that you might have. Announcements are great, okay, and maybe just to reignite some of those customers that maybe don't know what's going on within your business. Email and text marketing really works out very, very, very well. So again, these are just the different types of digital marketing, and I would definitely say that through any kind of website or any kind of digital presence, especially for business, you have to pick one of these definitely to be marketing wise by. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into this, but again, these are the different types of marketing options that we have here. So as you can see, when we think about marketing, it's impossible to do this without great content. We definitely want to make sure that firstly we're on the right channel, okay, because you might find that there are, majority of your customers could potentially be on, let's say, Facebook. okay? But we want to make sure that we're putting the message in the right place. Yeah, we don't want to kind of, you know, really be putting loads of messages everywhere and it's not relevant to some of the audience that receives them. We definitely want to pinpoint and make sure that we're getting to the right customer. So again, that is really, really important. But also it's making sure that the content that is part of that marketing speaks the language and engages and resonates more so with the audience and the customer that we're trying to connect with. So again, making sure that we're in the right place when we're doing all of this. But again, as you can see, content marketing is a strategy approach to focus on creating and distributing value and relevance. So again, you might find just by using things like Google Trends, if you're not sure about what type of content marketing you can make, have a look at what's trending right now in your business sector. And you could maybe either have an article or a video or what have you, write a blog, which is relevant. And that's going to bring people over and just trust you a bit more, trust your business a bit more because you're giving that information, which is great. So ways to advertise your business, we're going to go in just a little bit deeper, but as mentioned, a little bit more on it. Search engine marketing, as you can see, again, is something that we'll find in search. Whenever I do that, I'm doing the search. We've also got display marketing as well. So these are more visuals. They could be GIFs, they could be videos, animations, but they normally have a button, which is the call to action button that someone's going to click onto, and then they're going to be taken to a website or a landing page. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Also, we've got email marketing as well. Now, again, this is a great way to engage with existing customers. So social media marketing, I've mentioned some of these before, but Facebook is a great place where you can run campaigns. So you might find that you might want to have adverts which are around you know, relevant web pages, also going to the right audience members as well. I've run 1 or 2 Facebook campaigns and definitely it is effective for getting a message out there. YouTube is also really good. I think YouTube, again, for content marketing is great. If you have some kind of video which is going to inform, is going to help the audience in some way, YouTube is a good place. And again, it's just working out that once your customers are kind of seeing these videos, they're probably going to go ahead and visit your website and trust your business just a little bit because you're giving a valuable insight to them that they want. And Instagram, I think Instagram is amazing. I'm sure many of you guys will be using Instagram. I use it definitely to market one of my businesses that I've got. And it works out really well. I think what I like about Instagram really is the engagement. It's very, very instant, straight away. And normally you find that if you are putting on posts, videos, anything like that, stories, you can see the engagement straight away. But it's not just based, you know, around the people who follow us on Instagram. It's also making way for new people who are discovering our content and our business. So Instagram works out really, really, really well. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the benefits of social media. So firstly, generating more sales. Yes, that is true. I'm not sure if some of you have used social media to promote your business and have generated more sales. It's definitely happened for me. I've definitely got customers off the back of that. Also, another thing is adding value to your brand. So if you find that you've got your brand and it's not necessarily, you know, the awareness isn't there, you can actually have these pages online, engage a little bit more, create a little bit more of a community online, and that's going to help solidify your brand, make it a lot more sharper and get people to know exactly who you are. And some of the other things as well, I think the biggest thing for me here is building relationships and networks. That is a really big thing. So again, if you find that, you know, you want to connect with other businesses, you might find that there are influencers or people that really kind of like your products and create that relationship with them. And you might find that that also lends to help users that are around us, perhaps that are selling and in the same field as us. So again, you'll find that, you know, we can stay competitive. We can actually be able to kind of see what's around us. And again, it's very easy to do that just from doing searches on these social platforms that we have. So what I want to kind of look at next is how we can build a strategy when it comes to social media. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have actually kind of had a strategy when it comes to just posting on social media, you know, and also making sure that the content is engaging enough to get to the customer base that we need. Okay, so we're going to run through all of this, and again, as mentioned, guys, don't worry if we go miss things. You can always come back. You can always come back and you can watch this video again. So what I'm going to say is these are the different sort of pillars that we're going to go through, especially when it comes to social media. So let's get started with the first one, which is the audience. So firstly, I would say these questions are really, really important, okay, when it comes to understanding who you're trying to market to and where they are, okay, what are their interests. This is really, really important. So define your strategy when it comes to your audience. You'll find that firstly, who are they? Okay, who is the audience firstly? Okay, you might find that, you know, what's the age range, you know, where do they live, all this different stuff. What are they interested in? When are they online? When's the best time to engage with them? And also, what channels of social media do they use? So again, you might find that your audience is predominantly on Instagram, or they could predominantly be on LinkedIn. Depending on the type of business that you have, you're going to find the majority of your audience is really going to cling to one type of channel, not all of them. You can be on all channels, but I think you really got to concentrate on one where you know your audience is going to be. So I would definitely say, if you can, write down these questions or take a screenshot, or maybe come back to this and write these down and try and answer these in your own time, because this definitely is some questions to help us just understand a little bit more about who our audience is. So once we kind of know that, then we can start to market on the right channel and know exactly what type of messages we're trying to give. Now, another thing here is business goals. Okay, so I think when we kind of think about this in a, you know, physical sense, we're like, we need more sales. I need people to know more about my business. But how we can translate that over to an online goal is something like this. So we might want to be able to grow brand awareness. Okay, we might also want to generate more sales, get more people on the site. So what does this mean in an online presence? You may have a brand new website that no one actually knows about. So you can actually go ahead and just run a campaign, which is basically just going to go ahead and inform people within a certain amount of time about your new business. Okay, so again, these are quite good. So those business goals, I would definitely say you have to have these down too. So on your notepad and pen, please write this down. And if you're not sure what the goal is, figure it out. And the thing is, you want to be able to just go in a little bit deeper. This is very broad right here, but you do want to go a little bit deeper, okay, of defining what your goal is. And perhaps you can put a percentage behind that as well. So you might go, you know, in 3 months time, I want to generate 20 more, you know, 20% more sales, okay, than what I'm doing now. And I think that is really good because you're working towards that goal. Okay, so this definitely makes sense. Also, as mentioned, what social platforms? Now, we've gone through one or two social platforms in our previous presentation, but you might find that some of those platforms are really geared towards a particular field of lifestyle or business. So if we look at LinkedIn, that is more of a business platform. So if you have a business which serves businesses, B2B, that's basically what that's about. If you're a lifestyle business, you might find that Instagram could be a place. If it's quite visual, you know, this is a great place to be at. So again, as mentioned, it's just understanding what type of business that you have, but then also as well, try out these different platforms, because there's no harm in being on all of them. But what it is that we need to start to learn and understand which ones are doing well. So I mentioned before, what sites are going to do for you is going to tell you who you're engaging with, okay, and how many people are actually looking at your post and coming over to your social platform. So these also help you as well. So insights are very, very big thing. And anyone, I mean, this is more just a little bit advanced, but anyone who has a website, if you have a website and you're using a social media as a campaign, what I would definitely say to you is you want to have analytics, Google Analytics. So guys in the chat, if you can just put a link in for Google Analytics, I'll definitely say you want to go to the g.co/digital skills option, and that's going to give you some more resources and information about analytics. Again, it's definitely a tool I would definitely say to use. Now, when it comes to defining your brand's social voice, okay, now a brand is kind of like a person, the way I would look at it. You know, you want to make sure that we, you know, are communicating the way that the brand is meant to feel. Okay, what is this brand meant to feel like? What is it? Is it, you know, meant to be kind of like a fun brand? Okay, and if it is fun, then what are the guidelines to communicate that message over? It could be done with the type of, you know, images that you use, the fonts, the colors that represent that brand. Also the tone of voice as well. What are the language that you're using which is going to represent your brand and keep it strong? Okay, so I would definitely say one of the big things I will do, especially for brands, is I would create a document, and on that document I've got all of these different points that you can see here on the presentation, and I will go ahead and just fill that out for the brand. Okay, so I'll know exactly what the logos are, what the colors are, and this is to keep that consistency. So when you are on these different channels and you go ahead and you look at some big brands, let's say for instance like, I don't know, Coca-Cola or something like that, you can basically see that they have a certain color that they use, a font that they use, and it just helps us as the audience to identify, hold on a minute, I know exactly what that is. All right, so again, I would take some time and just fill in this out within your document. If you can make one of these and have brand guidelines, it's really, really important. So another thing just to mention to help us out, if you're struggling with knowing exactly how your brand social voice is meant to be, here are just some really interesting kind of ways to look at it. So I think you can kind of see, like, if your brand is friendly or provocative, as you can see here, what does that kind of look like? What does that sound like? What is the language that is used? What is the images that are used? When we think of fun or serious, you know, what does that seem? What does that look like? Okay, and we definitely want to communicate that. Formal or casual. So what I would say is try, if you're finding it difficult to, you know, define what your brand social voice is, try and just relate it back to one of these words, you know, and that's going to help you get started with trying to communicate that message and connect with the brand, or connect with the audience even, that you need to. So again, really cool. Right, and also, what is success for you? Now, I kind of mentioned this before, but you want to be able to measure, you know, really what success is. So you might find that, you know, you've got a campaign, you're posting on social media, you're doing it all the time. But if you're not measuring, okay, what you're doing, then how do you know if you're doing well or not? So one of the things I would definitely say is give yourself a time frame. And within that time frame, try and work out a goal. And that goal could be, okay, we need to generate more sales, as mentioned before. So again, you can literally go ahead and see within that time frame if you've achieved it and if you're meeting that goal. If you're not, then it means you've got to go back to the drawing board and then start to, you know, do more kind of things to engage and get your audience so you can meet that goal that you set. All right, but I would definitely say, if you're worried about, oh, I'm not sure, you know, I post here and I post there and all the rest of it, I think once you define what your success is for your business, especially on social media, it's going to give you the drive in order to be posting, in order to be looking at the engagement, in order to be looking at the insights, so you can see really what's going on. So definitely I would recommend these. Right, that was a wealth of information. Let's have a look at some questions that you guys have for us. I want to again thank the different people questions, or different questions even, that we've got on here. So let's see. Right, so I've got a question here, so getting started with digital marketing, which has popped up. Let's have a look. Pretty related, but I can answer it anyway. So G Suite for education and G Suite for business, they are the same. One is for enterprise and one is for education, so they are the same thing. You might find there are some other little bits like Classroom, which is more for Google Education, is used on that, but yes, they are pretty much the same. Right, I've tried Google paid ads. My ad campaign didn't show and I had to cancel it after 10 days. I kept seeing eligible and learning. Right, if ever you see that, I think one of the things that you want to do is just talk to the business team. So basically you can go to Google Ads and you can get in contact with them and raise a ticket about this. And there might be a little issue here, but I would definitely say that this is something that they can talk to you a little bit more about, okay? But again, this is something I would get in touch with the Google Ads team, and again, these guys can help you out a little bit more. But I would also be running the analytics on my site just to make sure to see exactly that these ads are not bringing in people to my page. They could be posted in different places, but again, I would say just ensure that you do get in contact with the team on there. All right, cool. Again, I want to thank God Knows and also Elizabeth as well. You're doing a great job. If there are any questions, guys, let us know, because we want to keep that chat very, very, very interactive. Okay, so again, if you've got anything in there, just let us know and we'll keep it going. All right, so again, we are on our way just for understanding digital marketing. So we had a good look at social on there, but again, that strategy is really, really important. Now what we're going to do now is just take a look at the Google Ads options. Okay, so in terms of statistics and how it can reach out to people, you can see here 87.3% of searches are conducted on Google. Okay, so that's a very, very big market of people who were searching and wanted to be able to find businesses and so on. And 63% of people have clicked on a Google ad. Okay, so again, we may think, oh, we're not going to click on the Google ad, but there's many people who do click on those Google ads on there. So again, very, very interesting points there, but it shows us that we should really be trying to advertise as well on Google Ads. Now, we're just going to do a quick run through on how to set up a Google ad. And this is really a paid for option that we have on this. So what I would say to you is that, again, you can always come back to this. If you do want to try this out, I think one thing I would mention to you guys is it's good to kind of know about this, but if you are starting out first time doing digital marketing, I will always say try it for free first. Okay, so do it organically. So SEO, search engine optimization. Also making sure that if you're doing any social media as well, that's also helping you too. And that's going to help you understand your audience. It's also going to help you understand, you know, the keywords. What are they looking for? Because one of the things that I done, and this was a few years ago, I put some money behind some ads and it disappeared. And it didn't actually bring many people to me because I was like, oh, all my money's gone. So and that was probably because I didn't understand the audience. I didn't understand really what they were putting in. So I think running the keyword research, okay, so keyword research planner or planner, keyword planner even from Google, if you can place that in the chat, that would be great. That is definitely something I would recommend first. Go organically first, okay, see how that works. Also, another thing as well, if we are going to be doing ads in search, analytics is a big thing. If you have a website and that website doesn't have analytics on it and you're doing paid for ads, you're basically wasting time, wasting money. All right, so I would definitely say analytics is the way to go forward with this. So again, if we're looking maybe just to have some paid for ads, how can we make this work, especially when it comes to Google search? So firstly, you want to make sure you know what the goal is. So what you want to achieve, what is it? And again, we did take a look at this. So what is it you want to achieve and how long is it going to take to run this campaign? Okay, have that in your mind first. And then it's also trying to work out the messaging as well that you are going to use. And again, you have to be really, really good with the language that you're using, especially when it comes to the ads. So you can see here, you know, again, just as an example, friendly haircuts. What is going to jump out at your audience? What is going to make a customer go, okay, I'm searching, okay, do you need something? Or, you know, the way that you can word it so it's enticing, it allows that person to come over and go, okay, I'm interested, let me click and go to it. Now, another thing as well is that if you are going to run Google Ads, you definitely want to make sure that the page that they go to definitely is ready to take this customer and make sure that they are engaged and potentially buy the product or maybe leave an email so they can request a callback. But the call to action is really, really important. So normally what people might do, especially when they're creating these type of kind of ads, is they will have a landing page. And that landing page, you know, your customers can come along to, and they can basically consider whether they want to get involved in maybe buying a product or leaving their details to engage with more services with you guys. So again, this is just something just to make a note of. Okay, so again, one of the other things is to set your budget cap. Yep, that is really, really important, and to watch your spend as well. Do not go crazy, and to go ahead and go live. But let's break this down a little bit more so you guys can see it. So in fact of telling us your goal, okay, you can see here there are examples of how you can do that. So again, if you are going for your ads, you definitely want to make sure that you can just, again, when you go through the categories, is make sure that your goals are set, and it's going to tailor make it for you so it actually shows up in the right place. And as an example here, as you can see, you can find that if it is to take action on your website, or you want people to call your business, then again, you're going to get that call to action on the ad with the telephone number on there. So it is important to know exactly what your goals are. Other things as well, deciding where you want to advertise. Now, most of the ads that you do, not only just Google, but also if you're using Facebook and Instagram, the rest of it, or Facebook Business Manager, you'll find that you can actually go ahead and just pick the reach of where you want this ad to be showing up. So anyone who's in this area, this radius, this is where the ad is going to show up for you. So I would definitely recommend that. Okay, that is something that you will go ahead and just pick the area where you want the ad to show up. And you want to have an enticing message. Okay, if you're not too sure, have a look at some ads, other businesses that are out there that are also using Google Ads, and look at the messages that they're putting out there. Okay, and you can see that again, it has to really show. Now again, you can see just here we've got haircuts that are in style. Okay, and you know, this ad looks really enticing. The fact that we've got an image here, because some of them you can have images on, and it's like fresh looks great here. That wording is helping just engage a little bit more with that customer who's looking for their haircut. So, you know, those features versus the benefits. Okay, we definitely need to be thinking about a compelling, you know, message and a banner that can go in there. And another major thing really is to make sure that you set your budget. Now again, you can have this set up, and what's cool is that with Google Ads you do have that budget cap. You never pay more than what you've set on there. You can always pause it as well, so it doesn't need to go on forever. So again, you can literally just have that ready and pause it. And you can also just get an estimate for the result of your budget too. So if you're not too sure, you can always get an estimate. But what's nice is that you can pause it. It's not necessarily going to go wild and go crazy, but I would definitely say having a look at how much money you might have to spend on your budget. But again, all of this doesn't really come into play unless you're using analytics and you know that it's working out for you, because you need to measure it. You could be spending money and you're not really getting what you need to. So I would definitely be using analytics to make that work. So once you go live, you'll notice that it does appear, okay, and when you click onto it, you'll find that it will show up in search ads. It can also show up in maps as well, okay, which is cool. And also what that's doing is, again, as mentioned, it's going to bring that customer into the funnel. Okay, so when I say the marketing funnel, someone goes on to search, they put in a particular keyword. Okay, and just to kind of mention, we didn't really talk about this, but when you are going to create these ads that are popping up, it's going to ask you for keywords. You're going to be bidding on those keywords. Now I mentioned this before, where we're using SEO, search engine optimization, which is basically free, right? But actually when we're looking to do this for paid ads, we're bidding on those keywords. Okay, so there are other businesses and so on. So if we go for that, people are putting in, which maybe could be a mistake, but it then brings up our website. Okay, so just some examples. But again, there are some great training materials on this that will go a little bit deeper if you visit the Digital Skills website. So the Google Digital Skills website, you'll find that's all there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to ask some, or get some questions. So let's see what you guys have for me in the questions side of things. Okay, good. So what is the difference between organic search and paid search? Okay, so organic search, whenever we do, a good question, whenever we go into Google and we literally have, let's say, the results that pop up, at the top we have ads, okay, and that's paid search, okay. That's something where a company's gone ahead and they've paid to have their ad at the top, paid to have their link at the top of search. But when we look at organic, that is something which is underneath. So that is something that we haven't paid for, but the keywords which are on our website matches up, okay, with the keyword that the customer is putting into Google, okay, and that basically enables us to be found that way. So organic, we do not pay for. It is free, but it takes a bit of time. Paid, we can pay for it, but again, we have to use the bidding option to make sure that we are bidding for the words, and it costs money. All right, so hopefully that's answered your question. Right, I would love to know if there are any tools or strategies you can use to increase the visibility and follow of your brand on social media besides paid ads. Yes, if you want to follow the visibility of your brand on social media, I think analytics first thing. So make sure if you've got a website, analytics, run that. Use the insights on that platform. So the insights could be, Instagram has an insight option, Twitter, Facebook. You can get to all of this. If you have a business page, you can do all of this. Now, if you're looking to do some research in order to grow, you have loads of different things, keywords everywhere, which is another one that you can use, which is free. There are so many different things that you can use on here. But again, what I would say is if you just want to see the overview, analytics is definitely the one that you want to be running on your website, because it basically means that whoever comes to my webpage, I can see where they've come from. And I can see what channel they've come from, because they could have come from a Facebook ad that I've done, or they could have come from search. So analytics definitely is the one I would say to be looking at on there. All right, is there any more questions? Have we got any more questions from anyone? I can see that there are quite a few things going on in the chat, and again, I want to just say definitely that our moderators are doing a fantastic job out there. I can see that they're really going in, and I hope that this information is beneficial and is helping you guys out a lot. Again, I'm just going to have a look and see if I've got any other questions from you guys at all, but I don't think they are. So definitely I will I'll keep an eye, but I'm not seeing any which are coming through. Again, I want to thank the moderators. You guys have been doing a really good job there. I can see that you guys have done a great job. So you're answering all the questions that are in there. Guys, if you have any questions, please place that into the chat. Elizabeth and God knows are there, and they're just helping you guys out with any of the questions that you might have. Right, so what I want to do now is just pause for these questions, and I want to talk to you about your next steps, especially when it comes to what we've just gone through in the last hours or so that we've been. So firstly, what we are talking about is making sure that you have a presence online. Okay, so if you don't have yourself a website, we looked at different e-commerce platforms that you could use on our first presentation. We also were looking at how to build a website, all of that stuff. Get yourself up and out there. Also, we looked at Google My Business as well, a fantastic free service which is really about trying to be on a local business listing within Google search, and again will show up on Google Maps. And this is definitely a really big thing. This is helping out many businesses out there, and I use it myself. It works really well. But also for anyone who has this, make sure you're keeping it up to date. The more information that you put on there, the more it's going to be relevant and customers are going to come along. Also handle those reviews as well. You'll know that you can download the Google My Business app on your phone, search marketing, SEO, okay, which is also a very important thing. Anyone who's got that website, those keywords, we need to make sure that they match. All right. Also other things, social media marketing too, so picking the right channel. Also having the brand guidelines as well, making sure that we understand what our brand is trying to communicate to connect with the audience that we want, to our customers that we want. So again, really important. And then quickly we took a look at search, Google ads in terms of search ads. Okay, so again, what I would say to you is just make sure that you do things organically first before you go ahead and do that. And I would definitely say analytics is a big thing, so you can actually just watch over and see what's going on. Also, if you're looking to pay for social media ads, what I would definitely say is that there is a plus of paying for it, but you definitely want to start organically first and build your brand first before you go ahead and start doing things. But if you do pay for it, you'll notice that the call to action buttons and the way that people can get to your landing page, as we mentioned before, is going to be a lot easier. Okay, and you're probably going to capture more of your customers doing it that way. But build your brand first. Do it organically. Understand your audience first. Understand who you're marketing to before you start putting money into it, and then you lose it, like I did a couple of years ago when I put some money down and it disappeared really quickly. I didn't get new customers either. What I want to do is just say to you guys, please go ahead to the Learn Digital website. We've got the URL, which is right here, and everything that I've spoken about, including analytics, you can actually find there are free courses. It's free. You have some time. Go ahead and learn a little bit more about how you can promote your business online. And what I'm going to do lastly is just see if there are any other questions that have been placed in the chat. Right, good. Okay, so I think I've got like a few. What advice can you give a new blogger to get good traffic for his or her new blog or website? Good question. What I would say is this, right? So basically what you can do is use Google Trends. See what is trending right now, okay? And basically just go ahead, put in kind of like keywords or maybe of interest that you want to write about, and just have a look at what is really trending and be part of that conversation. And it is going to get picked up. Also try and use those social media channels as well to get people to come along to your blog post. So it could be that, you know, you put a little message or you put an image on there, and then within the comment you're welcoming your, you know, audience to come over to your website in order to read up on your blog. So try to create as much awareness as possible. Social media is definitely something for you, okay? I would definitely say. Right, I've got another one. How do I target the right audience with Facebook paid ads? If you go to the Facebook Business Manager, they will have options to ask you. They're going to ask you different questions about the audience, the demographic. They're going to ask you, you know, age, where you want the ads to be showing up, the interests, all of that type of stuff. But before you go and do this, please try and do it organically first. If you can't answer these questions that I put in the presentation, you're going to find that you'll just put an ad out there and it might just disappear and you're not going to kind of get the return back like I did. So make sure that you understand your audience first before you go ahead and you pay for it. Good question. All right, the best ways to increase your views on Google My Business. What I would say is always request people to leave reviews. That helps. The more reviews you can have, it's going to help you get more noticed on Google Maps and also Google Search as well. Make sure you're putting your pictures in there. Keep it updated by having posts and blog posts that you keep putting on there too. Keep it alive. Keep it alive and make sure that you've got your call to actions on there too. So either the telephone number, the email, or something like that, that is going to help customers get to you. But try and fill out everything and keep it up to date. The more you keep it up to date, it's going to definitely help increase your views, and reviews is going to get you up to the top of Google. So really cool questions. I hope I've helped you guys out, especially when it comes to just trying to promote yourself digitally online. Don't forget, you can watch this again. You can watch this again. This is going to be on the Digital Skills for Africa channel. Watch it again. Again, it's going to be great to have you guys with the feedback or what you guys think about it. But I definitely want to thank, firstly, very well. So thank you so much for supporting me in this webinar. And also, again, if you guys want to learn a little bit more, please visit this website right now. Visit the Digital Skills website, which is g.co/digital skills, okay? And just learn a little bit more about stuff. Now, we are going to have more stuff coming out, so please stay tuned to this YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and you can know and be notified when we have some new things coming out. But firstly, what I want to do again is just thank you. Thank you for your time, and hopefully this has helped you guys out a lot. And again, take some of these learnings and apply it to your businesses, and I'm sure you're definitely going to see some success. My name's Ashton. I'm one of the Google trainers. It's been a pleasure being with you guys, and we'll see you again really soon. Okay, good luck with your business and stay safe, people.